There are 5 things that crows can do that most people have no idea about. First one is they can remember you and they can hold grudges. Researchers studying American crows have found that crows can recognize individual human faces and remember them for years. And they can also treat people differently based on that memory. Someone a crow has learned to see as a threat can get a very different reaction from someone that it considers neutral or a friend. Now, I don't know how you figure out that crows don't like you, so take it with a grain of salt, but also be nice to your local crows. Number 2, they can warn each other. If a crow has a bad experience with a specific person or a specific area, it doesn't just leave it alone. It can pass that information on to its mate or other crows nearby, so the whole group can start reacting to someone the original crow never taught them directly. So, just another reason to be nice to crows. If you're mean to one, suddenly all the crows in the area are against you. And so while they have incredible memory, they also have another incredible skill. They can solve problems. In a study, crows were given a jar and a piece of food in it, and then there was some water which kept the food out of reach. The crows eventually figured out that if you put some objects in, the water will rise high enough that then the crow will be able to eat it. It's really pretty impressive how they're able to figure out different things, and it's really incredible just how smart crows are and their ability to solve problems, and that's impressive on its own. But what's even cooler is how well crows can plan ahead and even fool other crows. And that's the 4th one. They can plan ahead and deceive. Crows cache food, like a lot of it. A single crow can cache food in dozens or even hundreds of spots, and then come back later and remember where most of that was. But here's the part that's easy to miss. If a crow sees another crow watching it hide its food, it will often go back later and move that food to a new hiding spot. It could even fake a cache and pretend to hide something when it really isn't hiding anything. It's just trying to fool whoever's watching. And number 5, crows can work as a family. Crow families will often stay together well past the first year, which is typical in most birds. The crows from the previous year can help raise the younger crows, helping feed them, defend territory, and watch for danger. It's called cooperative breeding, and it's uncommon enough that it's worth noticing. So the next time you see 4 or 5 crows moving together, take a second look because it could actually be a family working together to raise the next generation of crows. So now that you know how sharp these birds actually are, let's make sure you're actually looking at a crow, because there is really just one bird that looks really similar to a crow. Now, this might be surprising, but there are actually 2 species of crows in the United States and Canada. The American crow, which is by far the most common, and then there's the fish crow, more commonly found on the East Coast. Size and the general looks of them are pretty much identical. The fish crow is slightly smaller, but you really can't tell that. Their voices are a little different though. The American crow has that typical caw 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 that you would expect a crow to have, then the fish crow is a little bit nasalier and it just sounds different. Across the world there are a lot more different crow species as well. Also, what you think is a crow could actually be a raven. So here's how to tell the difference. Ravens are larger than crows as a whole, and the raven that I'm talking about here, just for your information, is the common raven. That's probably the only one that you're going to come in contact with unless you happen to be birding in parts of the Southwest, then you might see a Chihuahuan raven. But there are several really easy ways to separate them. First, you can watch them fly. A raven, since it's a bigger bird, is going to flap its wings slower. This is generally true for a lot of bigger birds. They're going to flap slower than smaller birds will. Also, ravens glide, but crows will almost never glide. Crows like to flap their wings in quick succession like this, while a raven could flap a few times, glide for a bit, and then start flapping again. If you get a good look at the raven, you're going to notice that there are some bristly feathers that go along the bill or beak, doesn't really matter what you call it. Then also the feathers on its chest are going to be a little bit bigger, and it's going to be noticeable that there's some different feathers on its chest. Also, if you happen to hear them calling, crows, like I said earlier, will have that caw caw caw, and ravens will not sound like that. They're going to have more of a deep croak. Now, crows and ravens are really cool, and they're actually part of a bigger family that includes jays. Jays are really cool and also really smart, so if you want to learn more about the blue jay, go and click right here because there are some really surprising facts when it comes to this bird.